Hey, hold on. Uh, Bow wow on them, son. Hold on. I don't want that. Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome to Yo Hero. This your boy Half a Dozen. We back for our seventh episode, and we doing our Daredevil finale review. This is the finale of Born Again. So this is the moment we all been waiting for. So with no further ado, let me bring in the next guy, live from the Slap-a-Hole tribe. Smashing your girl on the side, we don't die, we multiply. Sue whooping on the east side, the one, the only, Matt. What up?
What up, though? What up, though?
Got him laughing on the early side. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Oh, shit.
You know, chilling, man. I'm ready to do this show. Get this shit cracking. So, live from Skunkle, smelling like Funkle. What's the word? Not your mother's brother. It's Uncle Bird. What up, Unc?
What's up, gentlemen? What we doing tonight?
Man, doing real good. Real good.
Just chilling. Just
Extra
chilling,
lit.
man. Just chilling.
Chilling. Yeah, so let's do this. We got a full show lined up for y'all, so we kind of want to get straight into this. First thing we got on the menu here, Marvel put out another little image for the Thunderbolts, and we're kind of excited about this just because, we're about to all go check this movie out. I think May 3rd we're gonna all go check it out.
Yes, sir.
Y'all. This is gonna be like the first movie I think we all like Marvel movie. Me and Burr went and seen I think Venom 2. That was the last one me and him went and seen together. That's not like an MCU movie, but like superhero movie. That was the last one me and him seen. Last one me and Max seen was a long time ago. I don't even remember.
It was an X-Men movie. I think it was. Yeah, it was excellent.
It might have been Days of Future Past or something like that.
Ages and ages.
But yeah, I'm excited about this because we'll get to go see the movie and then review it. We've been reviewing the series, so it'll be cool to review a movie.
Yeah.
And then you got Captain America: Brave New World.
Got some decent art. I mean, the one with them with the wings or whatever all spread, not the fighting one so much, but Oh, alrighty then. So
there you go.
Got the DVD art, Blu-ray art, or whatever it is nowadays. For Captain America: Brave New World. What do you think, Mac? I mean, are they putting it all out there?
Putting all what out there?
I mean, the movie. I mean, the artwork.
Yeah, it's cool. It's dope. Yeah, that's shit.
I mean,
it's dope.
Well, it's dope. I mean, the CD cover or the DVD cover or case or whatever looks pretty cool. I mean, I like some of the gimmicky stuff they come out with, some of the DVDs and games and stuff. Some of it's kind of cool.
Yeah, this got like a little pop-up art that comes with it, which is kind of cool. I've never really seen that in a DVD box set or a Blu-ray, Steelbook, any of that. That's a bigger image of a pop-up art. I think it's kind of cool looking.
Yeah, it's different for sure.
Yeah, this is out digitally now. I almost picked it up, but I think because I got Fandango at home, which is formerly Voodoo, and I got like 3,000 movies almost on there. Well, really like 2,700 or something. I got a lot of movies on there. So even the stuff that they put on Disney Plus, I buy that stuff too on there just so I could watch it, without no commercials or anything like that, or I don't have to pay a subscription fee. I digitally own these things in my locker, or in the cloud. And I almost bought this, but they wanted like $30 for it right now. And I'm like, I'll just wait. I'll wait a couple weeks or whatever till it hits Blu-ray and it's down to $20, you know?
Definitely.
That makes sense. It looked dope
Yeah.
though. All of these covers, like all this pop-up art, it looked dope to me. Like I think they did a great job on the art.
Yeah, that's the 4K Ultra HD edition here. So you got a couple different variations, and then different stores will have different versions. Like Target might have a limited edition versus Best Buy. They both might have their own versions or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on. So this is pretty crazy. There was set photos from Avengers Doomsday that leaked over the past week, like pretty much right after we did our last show. And there was set photos of Benedict Wong and James Marsden. So you got Wong and Cyclops essentially, talking behind the scenes. This isn't like a set photo. This is them behind the scenes. But what I found really interesting about this was, remember when we showed that Avengers, the set photos with all the like meteorite damage?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people are speculating now that that's the X Mansion. That's like the front lawn. And if you look at a lot of X Mansion shots, they got, like the fountains and the grass all, like different designs in that front lawn of the X Mansion. So this would make sense. This would add up with that they're shooting some kind of X Mansion shot where things are going down.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it. Especially, even though you had the images kind of back to back mirroring on each other, I mean, you can kind of see that, maybe more modern isn't the old brick so much. But
yeah, and then along with that, another leak image came out, which is supposedly Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom in costume, looking like Mark Hamill over here
I was going to say,
as old Luke. Like he low key looks like old Luke Skywalker. Like we now this is one of them images, the internet, everybody's speculating like that. Is this real? Is this AI generated? The upres image of the suit over there, I actually did that via AI. But the one on the left there is the image that leaked online. And here's another one of those. This is multiple angles. So, and it almost looks like they're maybe costume testing them or.
yeah, possibly. I mean, when you first
Why would they have that beam in the middle of his chest like Iron Man? Like that's just crazy to me.
Hey, he's Iron Doom.
We don't see. Here's the thing. Like there's a lot of debating going on. Like why did there? All right, so the Russo said that they weren't going to come back to Marvel unless they had a good, valid reason, and they couldn't come up with a good idea for Secret Wars. And then it just kind of like occurred to them, like, oh, this is our entry point. This is how we make this all work. And they said that nobody could play Doom but Robert Downey Jr. So if you add those things up, people are saying, Doom is likely a variant of Tony Stark, or Tony Stark was a variant of Doom in the MCU. Like something happened along the lines, and I've even heard speculation that when Cap took back the stones, he might have caused this variant of Tony Stark that became Doom.
Yeah, I seen some stuff like that along those lines too. I guess, but no. But when you first sent me these pictures, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, that's supposed to be Robert Downey,
Yeah, and then other people were saying like, so that scene in Endgame when Tony goes back to get the stone with Cap, and he bumps into his father, and his father says that his mother's pregnant, and Tony looks at him kind of weird, like he's confused. And people were saying that Tony should have been born by then. So he's confused on how his mother could have been pregnant when he would have already been, a newborn basically. And some people are speculating that, Tony said when you mess with time, it tends to mess back. You'll see. And he was the one that figured out time travel and Endgame and a night of pondering on it.
Well, they did have a storyline where Stark actually had a brother that was like, he was like Stark was part of some kind of alien plot or whatever that they impregnated wife, but I guess his brother was like almost like paraplegic, but he still had the great mind. And yeah, it was crazy.
So he was Stephen Hawking. Is
Pretty
that what
much.
you're telling me?
Yeah, way more capable, I think. I think he was way more capable.
Was he talking like him?
No, I don't think so. No, I think he was, on top of his game.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good theories going out right now, and I kind of, I'm not totally opposed to, because somebody was even saying, what if Tony Stark wasn't even like he was never a Stark to begin with. He was a Von Doom. And what if the Starks adopted him, and raised him as a Stark, but in another timeline, perhaps he wasn't raised as a Stark, he was raised as a Von Doom. And this because of and people were saying because of Kang, if Kang wrote him out of time where he couldn't become a Stark and he became a Von Doom. So it's really interesting. And yes, Thumper Squid, this is live. We live out here. Whoa. Yeah, just I love the theories. I'm not sure about that suit. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really not sure.
It almost looks like they put his head on an action figure with how kind of blocky it is.
I mean, these two kind of, I don't know, they kind of look legit, man, from two different angles like that.
A nihilist looking ass costume.
Moving on, you got James Marsden seen again on the set of Avengers Doomsday. And this time he's with Ian McKellen, Magneto. How y'all feel about that?
No, I think
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, you're gonna actually see some real mutants here going on, and like we said in the past, I mean, you're bringing the past, the present, the future. You're kind of getting all for one last hurrah before you kind of semi put things back on course. What's going to happen in whatever their MCU 616 or whatever it is.
I'm just happy to see X-Men in the MCU, like to actually see them on the same screen, like in Marvel. That's what
and these X-Men too, like the X-Men we've been watching for 20 years, like this is a big deal to me because I'm a bigger X-Men fan than anything. So, like Bird, I like all the mutants in Marvel. That's kind of my go-to. So to see these X-Men on screen in an Avengers movie is just like I cannot wrap my head around that. That's just it's crazy as fuck to me.
Long time coming, right?
Yeah, right. Like and that all and this is the perfect opportunity. Like people, I get like the multiverse has had its high and low points, the multiverse saga, but this is the perfect opportunity. If you're ever gonna bring these people in to, give them a story arc, to give them a swan song kinda, I feel like this is the perfect time, These actors, Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart, they're getting old, bro. And Yeah, you know, this like it's the perfect time to bring them in.
Yeah.
Right.
So moving on, Marvel Studios, you know, gave us. We actually we're gonna put this on a couple shows back, but somehow I got lost in the sauce. But you know, first images from Ironheart, you know, and this is coming out June 24th on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
So this is actually the next series we'll probably be reviewing.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So this is the next series we're going to be reviewing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I think we did have some more Ironheart issue or slides, and we talked about it a little bit a few episodes back. But
I
yeah,
don't.
it'd be interesting to see.
I don't remember if we did. I remember
No, we
wanting to.
didn't. I don't remember anything about Ironheart. And
Yeah,
I thought we had.
I sent you the slides, but it just never made it to the show. But anyhow, yeah, I'm hype about this. I mean, I didn't like her portrayal in Black Panther 2, but I feel like this is going to get back to her roots a little bit, like her building a suit herself, not having a badass Wakandan version of her suit immediately. You know, I kind of want to see her struggle. You know, just see her. You know, build her own suit. That's kind of her story arc. You know.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
yeah. And then we had some concept art leak out from Marvel's What If animated series. And I don't know if
which is
this
fire. Which
it
is
is
fire. I
fire.
just want to throw that in. That
Mm,
motherfucking series is fire.
thank you. I appreciate that. It is. And I don't know if this leaked out because they abandoned it now that they've kind of abandoned Blade, or at least Mahershala Ali's Blade, because this was going to be Mahershala Ali's Blade. What if he was also Moon Knight?
Oh, okay.
You know, that definitely would be badass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'd be a
that's a dope
badass.
concept.
He's already a vampire. I mean,
A
And with the
daywalker
power
at
of
that.
Moon Knight,
yeah.
and with the power of Moon Knight on top of that,
Not to
I'm
be
saying,
trifled with.
wow.
yeah, I wouldn't fuck with him personally. I wouldn't fuck with him. I'd be like, good day, sir. I'm going about my business.
Yeah,
All right then. Alrighty.
he don't want no smoke with Blade Moon Knight.
No.
Moonblade.
Yeah, because I imagine he was gonna do the voiceover for this too. So
Yeah.
I feel like that shit right now is we got a better chance of getting this than we do the movie right now.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
I think easily.
I agree with that.
And it's crazy because I really like, you know, the Russos, like with this Avengers Doomsday talk, they're so good at like tying up every loose knot that Marvel left behind. You know, like they're able to cover, like they almost covered everything you thought we forgot about in Infinity War and Endgame, and tying up loose ends basically. And now I can't see them able to fix, you know, like the girl Gaia from Secret Invasion, to fix the Black Knight that was at the end of Eternals, like when Thanos' brother and Pip the Troll came to see the Eternals. Like there's all these end credit scenes that lead to nothing right now in Marvel.
Yeah. And
You
they
know,
might
When that
not.
used to not be the case.
right.
Usually, and that used to not be the case.
Yeah, it used to always lead to another movie or the next sequel or the next big chapter in their franchise, and now you got a bunch of end credit scenes that you haven't seen them play out. Because at the end of Eternals, they had two end credit scenes. They had the one where Thanos' brother came in with Pip the Troll and talked to the Eternals, and then they had Black Knight picking up damn, what's the name of that sword?
That I do not know.
Excalibur, right? No, it wasn't. No, it was like a dark version of it. Anyhow, but you hear Mahershala Ali tell him like, "You sure you want to do that?" Like right before he's about to grab the sword, and so Mahershala Ali is technically in the MCU as Blade, but we've never seen him, and we might never see him. It's weird how that shit played out, and then you got the Kang shit. Like that shit, the Council of Kangs, like that's a whole, like, bro, like
I think because of how things were going and they didn't maybe have the right scripts in place, that they keep passing on a lot of these things that didn't produce maybe as well as they would have liked, where they just said, okay, well, we'll just move on and try to capitalize on some other points. I mean, that's what I see happening.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. That, or they might even use Deadpool as a way to like make fun of the fact that they're not going to cover certain shit, and just keep it pushing.
Yeah, because he'd be great. He's always great at making fun of Marvel shit. He's great at it.
All right, so now we got Entertainment Weekly showing off some new images from Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four First Steps. You got a little Sue Storm here. And yeah, as much as I like Jessica Alba, like she was like a childhood crush of mine. Like,
oh, you're not the only one, sir. You're not the only one.
Yeah, facts. I know that, but I feel like this young lady right here is probably going to be the best Sue Storm we ever seen.
But right here, she don't look like a young lady to me. She looks like somebody's like a librarian or.
Well, I'm saying that based on my age, she looked like about. I still call women my age young lady to be nice, So anyhow,
well, she is dressed into the 60s too, there, Mr. Mac.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about
that. Just a little bit more conservative dress, and
my bad. My apologies.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so then we got a picture of Johnny Storm here. Picture of Reed. Not too much to be said. Kind of like you said, fits that 60s aesthetic. Ben Grimm suiting up. And then you got the squad. I can't lie, bro.
Are you talking before like the Four Horsemen? I see that. That made me think of the Four Horsemen. Shout out to the Four Horsemen.
Yeah, shout out to them. But yeah, Fantastic Four, man. I'm thrilled that this is coming out. I do agree with a lot of people. Like the one sad thing about this movie is like this is Marvel's been waiting forever to get them back, the rights back, the whole shit with Fox and all that. And it's just kind of weird to me that they finally got the rights back and they went with a female Silver Surfer in this. Like, and the fact that I don't know, it just seems like they had an opportunity to do this franchise right. So I really hope this ends up as good as I think it's going to be. I'm kind of willing to look past the fact there's a female Silver Surfer, because it's going to be something a little different. But I really hope when they do the reboot or after Secret Wars, like they bring in Norrin Rad and they do him, they do right by him.
See, again, I think they have done the story where actually I think Norrin Rad's wife took over for him. Or something that happened along those lines.
Yeah, that happened after the fact. That's the thing. Like, so does he already exist and he's out, hunting other galaxies for Galactus to eat or whatever or devour? So I don't know. It just seems weird that Marvel Marvel, they've been fighting to get these rights back all this time, and they get him back, and then they go, well, obviously the upper, Disney execs push that on them. You're like, oh, well, do a female Silver Surfer, This feels like the tail end of all that inclusive stuff they're trying to do to appease, the loud minority online. And I'm just hoping, it doesn't, it's not too far gone, because everything else looks great to me. Yeah. And I heard somebody describe their version of Galactus as like Galactus, like or no, like what did they say? Like pretty much like a kaiju meets like H.R. Geiger or whatever, the guy that drew up the alien art, H.H. Geiger. They said like think of his mechanics like that, like on his helmet and stuff, like highly detailed, could be a whole city on his head, like crazy. But yeah,
definitely.
And you got them family vibes from the crew. That's my biggest thing. I think as long as we get them family vibes from them, I think everything will be okay.
That, I mean, Galactus usually I think appears to the planet that he's on as like a giant one of them or something. I thought.
Well,
he attacks the scrolls. He looks like more scrollish or.
Correct. Yeah. He like yeah, exactly. So that he's gonna take on human features because he's around humans. At least in the comics.
Yeah.
And then you got some more pictures of the suits. I like these spacesuits.
Yeah.
This looks like after they got their powers, because look how big Ben Grimm is.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. That same thing. I was like, why is his suit already look like he already got his powers?
And he ain't got no face shield. Like he done busted out of it.
Maybe they're gonna try to go back to reverse what happened to him. Who knows? But maybe we don't know. We'll find out.
That or go up to deal with the Silver Surfer, go up to space to deal with Galactus, or whatever.
Hey, we need to put these back on.
Or maybe they just need to escape their universe because Galactus is going to destroy it.
Yeah.
And you got a cast photo there. Yep. I like Pedro's shirt. He got that Cypress Hill shirt on.
Oh, yeah, that's dope. It looked like he weren't. Never mind.
All right.
Catch, bro.
It's only funny to you because you didn't share it. But,
oh, well.
Oh.
And then we got a leaked concept photo from Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow showing Kara Zor-El's costume. It's our first look at her costume. What you think of that, Mac?
It's all right. That's all right.
It's all right, sir. Yeah. Well, at least you ain't rocking the Power Girl one, right? That one's a little bit better for you, Mac.
Yeah. That's definitely way better.
All right.
Yeah, so let's see what's then actually
but they kind of got it looking like Henry Cavill's suit though, like as far as like on our arms and stuff.
Yeah, and this is some set footage of them shooting a movie.
Oh, this ain't gonna be a series. This is gonna be a movie.
Yeah, this is a movie. You should go back and watch your Retro Mac. I actually mentioned that on the last show. Right to you. James
just
Gunn.
Just run through the comments.
Yeah, just go to our old show. You watch it back, you'll see. So James Gunn's doing Superman. He's doing Supergirl, and then he's also doing that Clayface movie we spoke about.
Yeah, Clayface.
Yeah.
Not seeing too much.
Is he going to give? Is he going to give the dog a movie too?
Here's what we've been hearing, like, or rumors are like Crypto might just be like the glue. Like Crypto might be, the one that pops up in all the movies. Kind of like Coulson in the early Marvel movies.
Or Stanley, right? Just got a little.
Yeah, or Stan Lee, yeah. And then you got this leaked image. Jason Momoa is Lobo on that same film set fighting Supergirl. Now, the only thing about this image is with all these leaked Avengers Doomsday set photos and all the people are speculating this one could be fake, but it looks, the one on the left, because there's an AI one on the right. The one on the left looks pretty legit to me.
Yeah, it does.
It could be. So he's not going to be like he's not going to be right.
He looks more, the one on the left, he looks more like Lobo, the character himself, to me. Than
Yeah. Oh. I mean, to me, this is the character he was born to play. Like, he was never a good Aquaman to me personally. I liked him on screen, when he played him, but it didn't remind me of the classic Aquaman. It didn't remind me of, even like the savage kind of Aquaman, or King, whatever. I don't know what that story arc is where he had the longer hair, but he never really struck me as an Aquaman. Now Lobo, he absolutely strikes me as a Lobo type character, riding his motorcycle through the galaxy,
meat hooking people. Yeah, that's what he does. Got a bounty, collect a bounty on anybody. He gets paid.
Yeah, and I heard his dog might fuck Crypto's dog up, or Crypto up.
Badass. That'd be badass.
Yeah.
That bulldog.
Yeah, I heard his dog might hurt Crypto pretty bad in this movie.
Dog is badass. Still waiting on a good Lobo movie, solo shot.
I think this could do it. His portrayal as Lobo is bound to win fans over, and they're going to be begging for a solo movie.
Yeah, to get his origin story.
No, his origin story's not that good. He'd have to maybe do a bounty on somebody, or some of the other stuff, maybe where he gets kicked out of heaven and hell and stuff, or something along those lines. I mean, they kind of
just say his origin story might not be good to you, but it might be good.
Well, I mean, as a science
especially
project,
if he does good, especially if he does good playing the role.
Yeah, but it's I see it more him fighting. I mean, he'd be fighting like the Green Lanterns or something because he's after somebody or whatnot.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing him go after somebody from the Lantern Corps, or even
or they're protecting somebody.
Even him kicking Guy Gardner's ass would be pretty awesome.
That's not hard to do.
No, but it'd be pretty awesome. And then you got this a new photo from James Gunn's Superman, and this is actually, I think, the first image of Lex Luthor and Superman in the same photo.
Right, Lex looked taller than him.
I think he's maybe standing up on something like on a ramp or something. Maybe the angle, I don't know.
It could be. I know that's Nicholas Hoult playing him. He ain't that tall.
Give the man some stilts.
I don't know. They both look like a couple of sissies to me. Couple of sissies.
Sissies.
Couple of sissies. That's what they both look like to be in this photo. Like that Superman don't even. I don't know. I'm gonna watch the movie though, but I'm just saying, it's just nothing I've seen so far besides nothing really.
You watch the dog. All in for the crypto.
I like to see this. I'm actually excited to see this. But and then you got Star Wars Episode 3 hitting theaters again for its 20th anniversary.
Yeah, 20 years.
Yeah, I always argued this was a good movie. Like people would say the prequels suck, but I always enjoyed Episode 3. I think the first two were pretty bad, but I enjoyed them because I'm a Star Wars fan. But Episode 3, I thought it was pretty peak.
Well, I mean, after the 7 through 9 came out, I think the prequels got a big boost and like, oh, they ain't that bad. People going, yeah, they're not that bad.
Yeah.
So
that
definitely good to see.
And then they had some like animated series that helped the prequels too. You know,
they helped. Clone Wars were great.
Yeah, so
I've seen a lot of those. I don't think I've seen them all. Had the one with the Ezra kid or whatever, and like they're pirates and shit.
Yeah, rebels,
smugglers. Yeah, that was all right. The Clone Wars was definitely the shit.
Yeah, my son's going to. He's gonna go see this in theaters. He said it's been 20 years since he's seen it, so him and his girlfriend are gonna go check it out. He's excited to see this on the big screen again.
Definitely, I mean, yeah, nostalgia.
April 25th, the Accountant 2 comes out too. I'm going to go spend my money on that just to see the guy that plays Punisher, Born Again, whoops some ass. Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah.
Not the Batfleck. You know, see the Batfleck.
John Bernthal.
I know.
Yeah.
What he's talking about.
And then we got some new images coming out from Amazon, MGM, and Mattel for this Masters of the Universe movie. You got Prince Adam out here rocking the pink. Okay, rocking the pink.
I thought this one was supposed to be a sissy one. Well, I guess Adam. Yeah, Adam was kind of.
Yeah, Prince Adam. Prince Adam always had the pink. You don't remember?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is true.
Where's the vest, bro? He got the vest.
That's not He-Man, bro. What are you talking about?
Oh, he had the vest. He had the white vest over the pink shirt.
No, I think he had the pink vest over the white shirt. Now, now you're fucking with me, bro. Don't matter. Somebody
trying to bring upon my memories.
Somebody get in the chat and set on straight. Don't let a Mandela affect the He-Man shirt. Yeah, here's the thing I'm not happy about with these images. It looks like he's just in the modern day world. You know, and what I wanted was a crazy story in Eternia, you know, some weird fantasy, you know, I don't know, sci-fi epic. And this just looks like it's going to be some weird, like, you know, like the Sonic movie kind of.
Or like the original one, right? Like you're in modern times and you got to do whatever to save whatever from whoever. Or Skeletor, obviously, but.
Because you see the cops holding his sword and everything. Like, it's like he's been busted for being He-Man or something.
Like got caught jaywalking and shit. Pink ass shirt.
No, they just seen him walking around with that shirt on and that big ass sword. Like, why are you walking?
You're under arrest.
You ain't gonna get no girls that way, son. You gotta go with us.
It's a fashion code violation with a weapon. You're going to jail.
Yeah, someone done bullied him too much.
Mm.
Come back with a sword.
Yeah, I don't know what. So, and then you got a couple set photos on the left here of Jared Leto's playing Skeletor. So I know there's a lot of people that don't like him. I actually like him as an actor. He did one of my favorite movies, Mr. Nobody. I think that's like such an underrated movie and such a it's like a mind fuck movie, man. Like you got to watch that movie almost twice to understand what's going on, and then even then you don't understand what's going on. But it's kind of talks about how your life path could deviate based on a simple circumstance or situation, and how you can meet different partners based on that and soulmates and all that, like the essence of life kind of story. And it's just wild, Mr. Nobody, if you've never seen it. But anyways, that's what really made me like Jared Leto, watching that movie. And I know he's got a lot of bad press for his interpretation of the Joker, his on-screen interpretation of Morbius, so he's taken a lot of heat based off just the Joker and Morbius lately, plus antics he did behind the scenes, as the Joker. But I like Jared Leto. I'm excited to see him play Joker. I just really hope our Joker looks.
Skeletor.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Skeletor. Sorry. I'm
That's a
hoping.
far picture of him, though.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, though. That's just a random, concept image. But I'm hoping he looks something like that, and he could play the Skeletor.
Do the voice. That's all I want to know. I want that Skeletor voice going on that shit.
Until we meet again.
Oh, He-Man. No.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Are they gonna go hyper serious and not have him look like that on the right? I don't know. But if you look down here in these images, you can kind of see. I think that's him holding his staff with the ram horns on it.
Yeah. He's one up front there, kind of sideways holding it.
Yeah, and picture number 2 over there. So,
yeah.
But yeah, that's another thing where I'm not happy with that costume though. I don't know if that's just like some early fit, or they're gonna CG stuff on top of that.
I think they're definitely gonna have to CG it on. That's not really. I don't think that's really a costume. I think that's just more of just kind
They're
of.
probably gonna have to CG a lot of that, like, because them. Just think about it. The Masters of the Universe characters, they weren't like little skinny dudes. Everybody pretty much looked like they did a little bit of roids back in the day.
Some super HGH going on there, brother.
Yeah, that's true. They definitely was doing the roids. Hulk Hogan, all them.
Yeah.
They were running wild. They were saying their prayers.
Patera, freaking back.
Eating their vitamins.
Yeah, their vitamin HGH.
Yeah.
So we got Bullseye and Daredevil spotted on set. Season 2 here. Spoilers.
Hanging out. Oh, is he going to be part of the Daredevil's little posse?
I think so.
Yeah, he's a little upset. Yeah, well, I ain't getting into that, but yeah, he's.
And you know what's trippy about this shot to me is his baton. You see how it's like lit up at the end of it?
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's.
I think it's a practice baton, like the one they use, and then they have to put all the graphics or CGI on it and shit.
Well, right, yeah, it's probably for tracking for when they do like his grapple hook and different things. But what it reminded me of was like the TVA ones. The TVA,
from Deadpool, from Loki, and from Deadpool.
Yeah. But yeah, it's
using props, is what you're saying.
I forgot what they call that when they prune them. Don't they call it pruning them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So some more shots of Matt Murdock in the all black suit. Like I said, we won. You know, he got that.
Yeah, we definitely won that.
We know Mac likes the double D's on his chest.
See, there you go. There you go.
all Daredevil fans like his logo on his chest.
Oh, yeah, say that. That's how you correct
it. Fans had a double D back in the day too, bro.
Actually, you know what? Let's go back a slide. You know, actually, we'll show a little bit of footage from behind the scenes we got here. This is them actually shooting season 2. And I think this Fogwell Gym, that was in the Netflix series.
Yeah.
Nice. Now you think that Fogwell. Do you think Daredevil's going to be okay with, you know, working with like Punisher a little bit more and Bullseye now that they're like straight up like killers and, you know, he ain't really gotten that far?
I think he's gonna find himself with some unlikely allies.
Yeah.
Because they got a mutual enemy now.
Yeah. Well, the worst kind.
And you know what's kind of funny about this footage if you watch right here at the beginning here. Look at they're dapping each other up.
Yeah, we can do that.
Look, yeah, right there. Like, come on, bro. That's great. But yeah.
Definitely.
I find that super interesting.
It's in that poster in the background too. Almost
yeah, especially gotta wait till season 2 starts though.
And then we got, you know, Funko dropped their Born Again Daredevil run, showing us what they got coming out. You got your Muse figure, your Frank Castle Punisher,
No White Tiger,
Bullseye, Daredevil, Matt Murdock, Kingpin, and what's weird is you got a black suit Daredevil, which we did not get in this first season.
Right.
So yeah, there should have been a White Tiger. I agree.
With this logo on his chest too, which is crazy. Because he did not have a logo on his chest this whole season.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a missed opportunity there to drop a White Tiger figure.
I think so. I would have went for the White Tiger.
So let's get into it. This is what we came here to do. We got our finale review. This shit was lit.
It was.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So this episode starts off with Vanessa having a little sit down with Bullseye. And this was what, a year prior to?
Yeah, right before he left there and did what she wanted him to do.
Yeah, so this is a year prior to the Born Again series. And then she basically cooks up this conditional release for him. I don't know how this works out that you can get people out of jail if they'll go murder someone for you. I don't know how that works out, but
he was in the psych ward. He wasn't in jail. He was in the psych ward, wasn't he?
Okay, well, whatever kind of custody, some kind of protector or some kind of custody he was in, you know, I don't see how some of these people like Kingpin, he got out of jail after all the shit he did. This guy getting out too. I'm just saying, it's just some of the stuff you got to kind of like overlook.
Got money by judges.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
got dirt on judge. You got it good.
Me personally, that little cocktail they was serving them, I'd have stayed in there and just kept taking that if I was it. That's what I did.
That was crazy. Whoa, that was crazy.
Oh, he had like 3 different cups of some good stuff. Of some
All right,
good
so
stuff.
you talking about the meds on the table? Okay, that's what you're talking about. All right, you got to specify. That sounded crazy. Yeah, taking that was crazy though. But yeah, what was wild was this bitch. She just like grabs his meds. Like the guard didn't even watch him take his meds.
Like, she could have downed him, and it would have been like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do?"
Yeah, she just pushes meds to the side.
No, that's what would have made me smack her. I'd be like, "Hold on, bitch, these my meds." You doing too much now. You doing too much. I'm keeping these pills.
She wants to know what you're sipping on.
Just some tea.
Just some tea. Okay.
Yep. Some tea and crumpets.
And then you got Mac recovering from that triple stack he took last week.
I was just about to say that. Look at him. He definitely looks like he's still rolling. He's definitely still doing that. That is crazy work. Oh shit!
He was so fucked. He was so fucked up. He's still, coming off that bender, and he's like, "Hey, Karen." The bitch is like, "My name ain't Karen."
Oh yeah, that is who he said.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're coming off like a 3-day bender off them double stacks.
No, them triple stacks. Look at it. He still got his mouth open. His eyes still rolled up in his head. Look, that's a triple. That's not a double. That's a triple.
He took too many.
Yeah,
too many.
Mac would know.
Oh Lord,
one too many.
And then you got Kingpin and Vanessa. They show them. This is after Adam dies. Oh Lord, man! And then she got his shirt looking like the painting on the wall.
Oh, that's after Daredevil was shot. Had to wait.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was after Daredevil was shot. Yeah. I'm tripping. Yeah.
He said Adam.
Last episode. We're talking this episode.
Yeah, Adam last episode.
It's the weed.
Yeah, I know. It's okay.
Yeah. This is after he got Matt's blood all over him.
Yeah.
Just sitting there chilling with it all over him.
Now, do you think he's like, cause you see he's all like tensed up? I don't think he was afraid of getting shot. I think he's just more pissed that Daredevil saved his life. Like, I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. This is where the conflict comes in. If Fisk if Fisk were to come out publicly and say Matt Murdock is the vigilante Daredevil, well, now he exposes the fact that this vigilante saves lives, even Fisk's life. So he put himself in a. That's why you see him sitting there salty, because he knows, like, now if he exposes Matt, he's gonna expose him as a hero.
Right.
So Fisk get all pissed off, started barking at all his colleagues, or I can't even say colleagues, basically his workers. And
underlings.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they are. Underlings.
Not even henchmen.
Yeah, and then he finally convinced this bitch to be a part of the dirt he's into.
Oh no, he didn't convince her. He scared the shit out of her, and she's just like, I better just do what this guy says. He's doing whatever the hell he wants. He's going out. He's killing. He's telling people to kill. He's telling people she values her life too much.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, he finally threatened her.
I mean, you see it on her face the whole time. Like, she's just like, oh my God, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Yeah, he kind of finally threatened her into obedience and playing along, right?
Oh yeah, more than playing along. She's happy. She's happy. I'm safe now. All you gotta do is do what this dude says.
And I still got my job.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw motherfuckers under the bus to keep it.
Because I thought for sure he was gonna fire her, like, because of that lapdog he got that's all on the snaggers. I forget his name, but y'all know who I'm talking about.
He still kind of needs her because she knows her way around the politics of a lot of stuff, even though he's kind of just bullying his way through a lot of it. She knows easier ways, and she kind of holds everybody like that isn't a criminal totally in account.
Yeah.
And then your boy, he told old boy Buck to kind of hold up and give him a little mission.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I want you to take this heroin and go shoot this up in Matt's veins while he's sleeping in the hospital. Kill that motherfucking lawyer.
Oh, that's shiesty, but that's exactly what he said. Like, Matt's still up there trying to recover off the getting shot in the triple stack, and Fist is sending this dude up there to shoot some of that bitch be gone into him. That is crazy.
You could just cut an air bubble into that bloodstream and embolized them, and so
that is crazy.
He didn't need all that. I don't think Matt was going to fight back up a triple stack.
He took too many.
Yeah.
And then you had a blackout happen, like randomly. You got this citywide blackout basically in New York.
No, it wasn't random.
Doing in the beginning,
that wasn't random because when Fist talked to old girl that you just had up on the screen, and when she was leaving, he told Fist told her to add a dude that controlled that electricity to come in there, and that's when the dude remember he got up and he put the hard hat on and he went in the Fist's office, and that fucking cop closed the door behind him. So he was telling him then, like, hey, I'm gonna need you to cut the lights off tonight of the whole city. It's a switch.
So he's just creating chaos, basically.
Yeah.
At this point. Okay.
Well, they kind of foreshadowed something about chaos going on. Like they kept bringing it up in a lot of their conversations.
Yeah, because he was trying to get his Safer Streets initiative. He wanted everybody to go along with that, which really was just a ploy for him to move his drugs and Vanessa's artwork and all that other deplorable shit that they got going on.
It'd take more power. So, well, needless to say, it didn't work out for him because, the guy he sent after, the dude Buck he sent after Matt, this dude can't see in the dark like Daredevil can, But Matt makes his escape out the hospital, goes home, and then we finally get the return of Frank Castle, which I was hype about. This is one of my favorite castings Marvel's ever done. I don't know why, but this guy is just like he gets Frank Castle. Like he knows how to portray this character on screen. And just like I said before, the back and forth, I could watch him and Daredevil just argue like their ideologies all day.
So in your opinion, not to cut you off, you think he's the best Punisher character?
Oh, by far.
Yeah, we discussed this before on your Retro Mac. I think you actually asked me that question. You should go back and watch it.
Restream that.
Yeah, because you should go back and watch it because that's how we brought up Dolph Lundgren being butt naked in the sewer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Hey man,
showing his cheeks in the sewer. I don't know what that has to do with punishing, but anyhow.
Oh man.
So then the anti-vigilante task force start making their way up, and obviously Kingpin sending a hit squad on Matt.
They couldn't get him in the hospital. Well, he's got to go home, I guess. Go check it.
So Matt jumps down through the window and just starts busting people's fucking domes open. You see some of the best. This is probably my biggest takeaway, like I would say, from the Disney series. Probably one of my favorite upgrades over the Netflix series, I guess I would say, is his baton work is crazy in this series. It's way better than it was in the Netflix.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think they turned up the violence a lot too. At least with
the gore,
gore factor.
Because Punisher was giving them boys the business.
Yeah. Let's be careful what we get to. Yeah,
we're getting to it.
You got Matt putting paws on these boys, like Mac just said right here.
Oh man, my God!
Like bite the curb, bro. Bite the counter.
That was crazy. That was crazy. I was like, damn, you seen all his teeth just missing? I was like, damn.
Man, I think that whole lower jaw was dislocated out of that shit too.
Oh my God, it was a lot of that going on in this episode.
Jaws
dislocated.
Yeah, that looked painful.
But he was all geeked up. He was happy.
Oh, man, I think that was right after he stabbed that dude. He was just stabbing.
Look how he looking. Look how he looking. He's like, yeah, do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Bitches. Mad like bitches. Got them all.
Well, that's how he looked at. That's how he looked in the series in the war when he went through and just killed all them dudes. You know, to get the rest of his dudes out. He was going on.
Right.
Wow.
Lost.
Look like he got Matt's triple stack stash.
Yeah. He definitely do look like he got in the stash. Oh my God.
Look at him, bro. You look crazy. Yeah, but you get some really, 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 really violent shot. The most violence I think Disney's ever put out is in this
that's for sure. It was in this one episode. Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, maybe outside of Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
but it's not the same. It's not the same kind of, this is dark, gritty violence. That's just kind of
I would agree with that because I was gonna say that car scene with Deadpool and Wolverine was violent as fuck, but they could regenerate, they could heal. These guys ain't healing.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's almost like it's a joke. It's a freaking, cut your arm off, I'll cut down. Just slicing.
And Punisher was like, he was cutting niggas' carotid arteries, just blood was just gushing out. He ain't give a fuck.
You see how he is too, man. I mean, he just puts everything into it. He's
look at him. He got one eye closed, just blowing that dude's noodles all through that damn counter.
Yeah, spaghetti sauce leaking out the bottom of the kitchen sink.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He got anger problems and stuff, man. Just can't stop, just whooping dudes and just beating them.
Well, like we were saying, like when what did I say? Like Fisk, his happy place is when he's like being violent, and the same thing with Bernthal, man. It's like
that's probably the only time he doesn't think about his family. He probably puts them people who did it, and he just puts them in his head, and he just goes.
Yeah, and then you got this shot where he's, popping the cops through the wall.
Taking out the knees.
Just top tier, bro. This shit was peak. Like top tier. Like, all right, yeah, and I just, we're talking, but yeah, I think this was just like
it was quick, but it was like you got to see a lot. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like, a lot of cuts in there. I mean, they were using ample time, I think, to show some of the, just how visceral,
gory and bloody they was gonna be. They was breaking bones, shooting through, stabbing.
Yeah, and it was like a pretty dark scene. Like it wasn't lit. It wasn't daylight, so it was kind of hard to see some shit, but it was visceral enough, like Bird said, where like you knew what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that dude too? I didn't even see that guy come out. Wow. Oh, shit. Yeah.
And then you got old boy comes in with the Punisher skull on in front of Frank, and now he's the one that killed the White Tiger.
Yeah.
And Frank throws a knife through this dude's hand, leaving him pretty much crucified to the wall there, and Frank tries to convince Matt to kill this dude. And then he pretty much calls him a pussy because he won't finish the job. Like, that's what we're doing here. You're gonna let this dude go back out on the streets when you know what a piece of shit he is.
Yeah, look what he did to your client. I mean, look, man, and you're blaming yourself for that. And this is the guy who did it.
Yeah, and it also kind of mirrors the shit with Bullseye. It's like, if you would have just finished the job with him, he wouldn't have killed Foggy. And now you're gonna let this piece of shit go, and more innocents are gonna get hurt because of it.
Well, it's not even that. After he did kill Foggy, then he couldn't even kill him after that.
He tried to.
Yeah.
He tried to after that.
Yeah, well, I mean, but he still didn't. You know what I mean?
Well, that's
Frank don't leave people like that. Frank don't leave people to live.
I agree, but I don't think Matt knew Bullseye had that metal spine now. You know, I think that's the only reason he survived that. You know, Frank would have, shot him in the fucking dome and he'd have been out of here. That'd have been the end of it. They make their way outside, you know, and then his whole fucking apartment explodes. Now, there was people saying, you know, they feel like dude died up there, but we already seen the behind the scenes set photos, and this Cole North character, this cop here, that he got pinned to the wall. He is in season 2, so somehow he made it the fuck out of here before this shit blew up too.
They threw a grenade up. Somebody threw a grenade up there. That's why they had to fucking run out and jump out the window.
Right. But that cop made it out because he was in them behind the scenes cover. He was in them behind the scenes set photos from season 2. Spoilers. So, and then somebody pulls up on the homies.
Who could it be?
No other than the bitch that they both got sloppy toppy from, Karen Page.
That is crazy, but it's true.
That's why they looking at each other like, you call this bitch? I ain't call her. You call her? I ain't call her.
Oh,
great. Why does she keep popping up?
You know, then she's over here stitching up Matt. Frank's over there solo dolo.
About to eating like 3 Perkies when he get done sewing his suit. After he got done sewing himself up, he went over here and ate him about 3 Perkies, just crunched them up. They had to be 10s.
Yeah, they was definitely Perk 10s. You could tell by the crunch sound it made when he started chewing them.
Yeah, then he offered him coffee. Like, y'all want some coffee? I'm over here about to be turned.
yeah. Y'all want some of these Perk 10s? Y'all want some cappuccino, espresso?
Oh, too funny.
And then you got, you know, Kingpin's little would you say he is, Mac, the director of communications? Yeah, you know.
That's Baby Pin.
Yeah, he basically.
Oh, that's what you call him, Baby Pin.
Baby Pin. What's he here? What's he here doing here, Mac, in this scene?
Oh, he's basically he was asking for Fist, like their opinions on the Safe Initiative thing, or did they read it or Safe or whatever that shit he was trying to use as a cover, a front. And at first they was like, no, it's crazy. And then he got to dropping, letting them know, like, we know about y'all little dirty undercover little moves y'all been doing, like the city, y'all been doing, like her Swiss bank account. This bitch had like $500,000 of dirty money just tucked in the cut. So they all knew that Fist knew, and they knew that the motherfuckers was dirty too. So they had to roll along with what Fist was going, what he wanted, or he was going out him or kill him. That's basically what he told him.
Yeah, he told his girl, like, anybody that's not down, get rid of him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Bird Daredevil and Karen Page, they go to this office looking for what?
No. Oh, you asked me like it's a quiz show? Man, they're looking for what Froggy last process there to because he knew his client was going to win. So he was going to file some papers, but they didn't know exactly what he had to get his guy off the hook. And then they found out that like Red Hook was in this like neutral zone where it doesn't fall under any city or federal laws. It's like a free port. So they could do whatever they want.
Well, so he basically asked Karen to be his eyes while they try to find out what kind of dirt Foggy had on Kingpin.
Yep.
Okay. And then
she was talking to him about how asking Matt about how he could hear Punisher's heartbeat or her heartbeat when they seen each other. And I was like, oh, so she's thinking about giving them both some sloppy toppy again.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she sure is. Yeah, she was thinking about that old spit roast, one in the front, one in the back. Yeah, she's a freak like that. and then you got Frank basically hearing over the radio that these piece of shit motherfucking wannabe Punisher motherfuckers
was heading down to where Matt and Karen were going.
No, he was heading down to the docks to where the cops were where they were meeting up.
Yeah, but you remember when he was listening, when they said across the walkie-talkie, they had mentioned the blonde and Matt on the walkie-talkie when he was listening right here in this scene.
Yeah.
They actually said their names. So I think that's another reason why he went down to that dock. But of course, he took them 3 perk 10s. He needed to go. Go do exercise, release some stress. That's why he went down to the docks because he was like,
I think it was the cup of coffee that set him off.
I mean,
it probably was.
He was obviously still going through it because he took his prison shank and stuck it in this cop's neck right here and slit him open like an envelope.
He's on flashbacks.
And right here, flashback out that muzzle. Pow!
Look at his face. He's like, shit.
See ya, son. I told you, man. He's on another level. He's focused, man.
I like when Frank gets this unhinged. Like, bro, he went in there
by himself.
Too casual too. Like he was like Superman, couldn't be shot, couldn't be hurt, nothing. He just walked in there like, "What are you gonna do to me? I'll kill every one of you motherfuckers. What are you gonna do?"
Yeah, he just did not give a
rolled
fuck.
in.
Yeah, that was them triple stacks he took from Matt's house, and then them perk 10s combined. He really wasn't thinking about pain at that point.
No.
Oh no.
And you can see here he gets shot in the back with a shotgun. He wasn't thinking this out.
No. And plus, when he walked up that ramp to see the couple guys standing there after he took a few out, he had dudes behind him. He knew they were all going to he wanted them all at once.
Pause. That's crazy.
Yeah. Technical foul.
Hold on.
Oh, this again. Right,
technical foul. Technical foul. Foul on the play.
He said he was going to take them all at once. No.
He walked up there.
He just walked up there off what? Off what? He was going to take them all, huh?
We're not doing that. No.
No.
So now you got all the
got a Punisher circle jerk going out over here.
Oh my god, see, that's crazy. That's too much. I'm done. That's
it's true. It's kind of true. It was actually
it's kind of true.
We'd be honored if you join our circle jerk, Mr. Punisher.
You could be the head jerker. I don't know.
You guys are a bunch of clowns. You're a bunch of fruity tooties, and I'll pass.
He don't want no part of that.
Oh,
Man.
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah, that was real crazy.
He's still feeling the perks. He's looking at him. He's like, shit, whooped his ass, and he's still over there like, fuck y'all.
Nah.
Yeah, I think he's still got a perk crushed up in his teeth right there. You can see on his lip.
He's like, hit me again, I'll swallow this. I won't feel a thing.
He got a piece of that perk 10 on his lip right there.
Oh, that is crazy. He was tripping though. He was definitely unhinged. I was like, this is way too much going on in this episode, bro. Way too much. This dude was crunching on them bitches. And you mean to tell me he had an extra one? That is crazy.
Well, you know how they used to say, like in World War II, you know, they had the fake cap on their tooth. They had the cyanide pill to bust down on. Yeah, he's got 3 or 4 knocked out there with perk each one.
Yeah, shit. They was probably knocking him loose too when he was fighting them motherfuckers when he first went down to the dock.
He got a revolver. He got a revolver filled with perks.
That is crazy. Oh man.
There's your boy, Commissioner.
That's crazy. I don't know why I can't remember this dude's name. I know he's the commissioner. What was his name?
Commissioner Gordon. We know that.
We know.
Yeah. Yeah, he was talking to old girl. Like, yeah.
Commissioner Gallo.
Yeah. Gallo. And then she immediately went and played the tape that she recorded this conversation.
I told you she's keeping herself alive. She's doing whatever
she went immediately. When you talk, that was like record time of snitching. She went in there and then she had the nerve to be crying while she was playing the tape back. She's standing there crying. What are you crying for? Did you just snitched on you? That was under like not even 20 minutes. He ran immediately like, Mr. Fish, sir, the commissioner plans on. No, never mind. Just listen to this tape I got for you. This phone call I recorded.
Yeah. You ain't gonna kill me now, are you? You ain't gonna kill me, right? We good? We good?
By the time he got to his car, there was a hit on him.
I think it was almost there to begin with, anyways.
I mean, it was on the way.
Yeah.
Another one of those Punisher fanboy tattoos.
Yeah.
And then he gets a fist little plastic room, bro. To see this right here, bro. I already know. Like, I'm never walking into a room with that much plastic on the wall.
Hell no.
Like, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking.
But he just basically he went unhinged right here,
bro. So he grabbed, Commissioner Gallo by the head, and we proceed to see what I would say is the most violent scene in any Daredevil series, Netflix or Disney, and the most violent scene ever filmed by Disney ever.
Why does he look like a walrus?
Hey, but yeah, because he chopped him in the throat to make him, and that's like he elbowed him in his fucking. Oh yeah, that shit right there was crazy.
Yeah, bro. They very good practical effects. I mean,
snap. Spoiler.
You didn't even prepare. I hope y'all was ready for this part of the episode.
Yeah.
He didn't even warn y'all. He didn't say parental aggression or
no. Snap. Commissioner Gallo out of here. He's not coming back in season 2, y'all.
Oh,
he's not gonna make
that is horrible. Yeah, he will not be in the sequel, season 2. He will definitely not be showing up.
Out of here.
Oh. Look at his mouth, bro. Look at his jaw.
Right.
That is crazy. Oh.
The most.
It was a bit brutal. You like
you think? They just taking in opposite directions, dude. You talking about it was a bit brutal.
It is a bit brutal, yeah.
Just a bit.
His whole jaw
His
hanging off.
shit is hanging off, bro. You talking about a bit brutal. His shit is
Tore
hanging
his
off.
jaw off while he did it. I see.
Bro.
Oh,
That scene alone, like I remember hearing like behind the scenes, it was when I watched the Daredevil cast, they said there is one scene in this that we were like, there's no way they're gonna let us put this in the series. And when we turned it in and they let us keep it in there, we were like, we called them up like, are you sure? Y'all watch this, right? Y'all sure we're putting this out on Disney Plus? And they said, yeah, sure.
let's do it.
Oh my God. Look at his face right there, bro. Like, that is crazy.
He snapped that man's head. Bruh.
Try to turn into a zigzag.
Loved it. That was
like them dudes that was standing around in the room. The dude that drove the commissioner there, he almost threw up. He was like, and caught himself. He had to like stop himself from puking right in front of everybody.
It was pretty nasty, bro.
Yeah, it like you said, good practical effects, good acting, and just something you could see the Kingpin doing. Like,
the thing was smashing heads with the doors and his hands. I mean, hammers. Yeah. I mean, he's a head smasher.
I mean, you didn't even see it that gory though in the Netflix series. Like, it didn't get that graphic. Like, you would get the idea of what he was doing or the blood spilling from the car door, but you didn't see it.
Yeah, but even in any of the previous episodes too, I mean, you kind of seen stuff kind of off camera, or you get like the real shadowy stuff. Yeah, no, they were going out on this one. Dude busted teeth. Now the dude jaw's gone and head smashed. Yeah.
Yeah, man. They
turned it up. They turned it up a notch or two.
Or a few.
Possibly.
So then you got Daredevil basically debating on going in to save Frank.
Yeah.
Almost got to see. Well, how does he know Frank's taken though? Like,
that or he's just wants.
He was going down to the docks to try to like go down there and fuck them dudes up, but Karen convinced him that he was outnumbered and he was gonna get himself killed.
Yeah,
most likely.
So then he's like, I'm gonna need an army. He tells her, he's like, fuck it, I ain't gonna go down there, but I need an army.
Yeah, he told her he's gonna need an army, and who do y'all think that army could be?
You're gonna call some old friends, little Luke Cage, little Jessica Jones, maybe.
Yeah, the Defenders.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get the full Defenders just yet, but we did see behind the scenes on season 2, so I think Bullseye is gonna actually be a part of this army. I think it's mass vigilantes primarily.
You think we're gonna see more of the because well, I know we haven't got to it yet, but there's a few other people that are been popping up in here that they get on the loose. They're gonna probably possibly be with them.
Potentially.
Well, no, I'm just
that was very vague. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's coming up. That's why I'm saying,
Yeah. So, well,
I'll wait till we get to that part.
I already talked about, the Daredevil season 2. We showed the set photo, so with Bullseye, I think that's bound to happen.
Well, I'm talking about like at the end of this episode, where you get the swordman in the cage and a couple of
yeah. So you got, Daredevil basically presenting himself to the whole Josie bar at this point. Like, he's letting people know he's protecting Hell's Kitchen now. I mean, he's right out in the open with it, plain as day. But this is part of his army, I assume, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Who's there in the back behind his ex?
I don't know.
I mean, is that BB?
Might be.
BB Urich?
Might be. Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of.
Or the girl from or the White Tiger girl.
I don't know. I know it was Josie, Karen, the
officer,
the Chinese officer lady, detective lady, the old dude that retired, and then some good cops. I don't know who the fuck that is by the door though.
And then you got them. This is like the culmination of the whole series with these two. You know, from sitting on the therapist's couch to, you know, them basically fighting over Adam and the little power struggle they were having with her running, you know, all his kind of like mob ties and him being the mayor. You know, now Adam's dead. You know, they're back on top.
She's a stone cold killer now.
I mean, you know, you get this kind of final shot of Bullseye.
Yep.
The broken glass and then Matt staring out the painted glass. Yeah, that's a dope image of Daredevil right there. And then you get an end credit scene, which was real cool. You know, you get this end credit scene. I actually walked away and then was told, get back over here, check out this end credit scene. So this is dope. You know, and this is what it's leading to the special presentation Punisher series, or will it be in just season 2 of Daredevil Born Again?
We'll have to wait and see. I can't
I
believe that.
I don't see him really doing too much to the, you know, to the anti-vigilante task force until Daredevil gets his team and he goes after him too. So unless he's got another mission he's going on, I don't see, why they.
No, you've seen from the season 2 spoilers that the vigilante fuckers are still chasing him in Bullseye.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Why would Frank's going after him for using his symbol and for being corrupt cops and everything like that? He ain't gonna leave very many of them left for Daredevil and Bullseye. So I don't think he's either gonna be helping them and then do something else maybe in that presentation. That's what I think. I mean, I don't see it. But then again, they proved me wrong. And yes, Vanessa did fall in line again.
That's what bitches should do.
What about old girl? She's taking the job. Matt's bitch taking the job with Kingpin. What did y'all think about that part? Like, her being
she was going to become more anti-vigilante as things went on, anyways. So even if she finds out Matt's Daredevil, I think they're through anyways. But
no, I really think she's trying to figure out what the fuck Fish is up to, though. I think that's why she took that position. I don't know. I don't think she's gonna be. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. I don't think she's gonna be more vigilante more than her just being a nosy female.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd attribute that to her being a dumb bitch. But
okay.
Yeah, I think she might just be attracted to dangerous dudes. Like Muse, Daredevil. Kingpin. Now she's gonna fall.
So you saying she gonna? Vanessa might have to knuckle up because she's gonna give.
No. Well, she knows better. I think she knows better. But she's gonna be one of them bitches waiting on the sidelines.
So you saying there's a chance, there's a possibility she might get Kingpin some boom boom.
I'm saying that.
It sounds like that's what you're saying.
Well, I don't think she was that into Muse.
So she didn't want to give him.
She was kind of into Muse, but she's just attracted, or she's just magnetically going towards those type of dudes.
It always has to go left with you, buddy. Every time.
Every trip. You did it again.
Left. What I do this time? I don't even know what that was laughing about.
You basically just said she's trying. She's in the dangerous dudes. She wasn't that into Muse, but there's a good possibility. She already gave Matt some boom boom, so
Yeah.
He done had it a few times. So you saying she took the job from Kingpin because she like dangerous dudes and she gonna end up giving him some boom boom.
No, I did not say that.
Oh, basically, that
I'm
is
just
what you
saying she's part of the fan club. She's part of the fan
Pretty
club.
much that's what you said. But
yeah.
That's not what I said. You took it
You
that
just
way.
didn't come out and say it. No, that's pretty much what you said, buddy. You just didn't want to come right out and say it.
Nah,
It's all
I
right.
would have.
I ain't judging you.
Don't worry, I would have said it.
She like I agree with half a dozen. I think she's a dumb idiot for even getting involved with this.
yeah, she is. She should stay far away from that shit. But you know, whatever. She want to be rich and powerful. You know, she want to be like she was at that party with the elite, and that's where she want to
She
be
done been
around.
stabbed. We seen this bitch get stabbed. You know what I mean? Or did she get shot? Whatever. You stabbed her. Like she should be sitting her ass down somewhere chilling. She could have been dead.
Yeah.
But no, she want to go up to Kingpin and be like, or he offered her a job and she took it. Like, what the fuck?
Let's not forget she's a killer now.
Oh yeah, that's true.
She is a killer herself now. So she killed a masked person.
Vigilante.
You know, maybe I don't know if you call him a vigilante, but you know, whatever.
No. A serial killer.
And unarmed at the time.
Let's get focused a little bit here. I want to get y'all's review on the finale of Daredevil Born Again. And Mac, why don't you give us your overall review of this final episode?
I'll give it a 10 out of 10 just because of all the because we got Punisher back, because we seen a lot of violence and we seen a lot of drug usage. It was right up my alley, buddy. So I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I thought it was one of the best episodes of the whole series.
All right. Bird?
I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9. I think the violence was amped up a little bit. You know, they had some decent fight choreography. I'm just still wondering where the story's kind of see where it's going, but like how are they going to get to it? Like who are they going to bring in? What's going to exactly happen? You know, it's I expected more of a cliffhanger too at the end, where it's just like, okay, you know, kind of what's going on. You know, where it's not like somebody's still waiting in the bush or nothing.
I mean, you got the cliffhanger as far as like you got to, you know, Kingpin's pretty much got full control. He. All right. Well, so you give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 10 with Mac. Just this was my favorite episode out the entire series. If you don't watch no other episodes in this series, I would suggest you watch this episode, and then maybe you'll want to go back and watch the slower storytelling episodes. You know, some of the earlier ones, but this episode had it all, man. I mean, it had Punisher, it had Daredevil, it had Kingpin, it had Bullseye, it had, you know, the violence, it had the back and forth with Frank and Matt. You know, it had Karen Page, like it had, and also this episode was, I think, the only episode that was fully. It's the new team that's working on season 2. So when they went back and they did reshoots and retooled, you know, because like I said, they shot the whole first season of Born Again, turned it into Marvel, and Kevin Feige was like, "Nah, that's not it. Like that's not what we want to do with Daredevil. Matter of fact, we want to make it a continuation of the Netflix series. We don't want it to be this new Disney thing." And so they went back, they did some reshoots, and a couple of them reshoots are like scattered throughout some of them episodes, like episode 1, where they decided, you know, kill off Foggy, bring in Bullseye. You know, there's a couple of things in, I think, episode 1, and then a couple other episodes, like when Punisher popped up, they added that to it when he first popped up and he showed him the bullet, you know. And so some of I think the anti-task force and that stuff was added later. But anyhow, this like to me was peak Daredevil. Like I said, I think it's the most violent the series has ever been, and I just think it was the best episode out of the series. You know, I think it was a 10 out of 10 for me. Like I got zero complaints about this episode. Um, Now, as the series overall, what would you score the series overall, Mac? Like the whole Born Again series, you know?
I'll probably give it a 10.
The
I
whole
was cool with it.
series.
Yeah, the whole series. I'll give it a 10. I can't wait for season 2.
Bird was waiting for that.
10. Really, a 10. The whole series a 10.
Yeah. Overall. You said overall, man.
Now, the reason I asked this because it would kind of be your average, your score average. So
Yeah.
if we went back and watched every episode, I would take your score from every episode and get an average overall score that you gave it.
Yeah, I'm thinking more like a 7. A 7. It had a lot of low points. I think. I don't know if it was some of the reshoots with the scripting of certain things and adding and whatever, but I think the rushing of Muse, the story was kind of just like slow and then yeah, I mean they topped it off pretty good, but I think people were expecting a little bit more action with Daredevil running
They
around.
topped it off pretty good.
Sir, I think you need to go and talk to Punisher and ask him for a couple of them perk 10s because you're not high enough right now. I'm talking about that episode was a 9.
He said
That's
it.
crazy.
I said a 7.
He said it was
No, you
moving.
saying the series. I know you're
Oh,
the series overall. You're saying 7, but you said the last finale episode was a 9. I'm
Yes.
saying this guy needs to be drug tested.
He said it was moving slow, but they rushed the Muse thing. How's it moving slow?
Well, I
But
think
they
the
rushed
story was moving slow. We had a lot of just non-action episodes that kind of
yeah.
tied in the story. I think the whole bank
Oh, yeah.
thing it was just
Nah.
like thrown in there, just a episode filler.
Yeah,
I just think they could have done a lot better with certain things to bring stuff together.
yeah, I'm just messing with you. I think like for instance, the Fiddle Faddle kind of storyline, that was the old team. I think the White Tiger stuff was the old team, which we liked. You know,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
No, I'm not saying there was anything bad about it.
It wasn't like throwaway. You know, it wasn't trash. But I think this final episode really shows us where they're headed with this franchise, and I couldn't be more excited after this final episode about where this franchise is headed. Like it was ultra violent, bro. I really don't. I can't think of anything Marvel that I've seen as violent, like I said, except for Deadpool and Wolverine. But that was people who could heal and regenerate. These guys ain't coming back from Frank's bullets, you know. And yeah, I'm just really stoked. So overall, I would give the whole series probably, I want to say like a 8, maybe probably like a 8. You know, to be fair, I think a 8. I think it ended really good. I really liked the episode. You know, I do feel like Bird felt they rushed the Muse storyline a little bit. But I did like the episode he was highlighted in. That was one of my favorite episodes this season. This final episode and episode 1 were like peak Daredevil storytelling to me. And you got to think like, I think like, you know, and Daredevil, Matt Murdock pun intended, like people look at the Netflix series through rose-colored glasses, kind of, and they forget that there was like what 20 episodes a season or something. There was a lot of maybe more than that, 13. I forget. There was a lot. So there was a lot of slow storytelling in those series too. It wasn't just all action, all violence, all action, all violence constantly.
That's more what Beck wants. I mean, those 2 episodes that was his worst.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, and your lowest rated episode, I think, was the bank heist episode.
Yes,
and that was one of my more favorite episodes. Just because
and it wasn't for anything. I didn't see how it fit into the story.
Yeah, and I'll agree with Bird on that, because now looking back on this first season, it didn't really make any difference at the end of this season, that episode.
It's not like that one of those dudes came back and tried to get Matt Murdock, or wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was just nothing. Just like, okay, we're gonna throw you an episode where Matt kicks ass.
It
He's not really in a Daredevil costume or nothing, but
it reminded me of like the Marvel short films they used to do with like Agent Carter, or they'd have like Coulson going to the gas station and he'd get into a little scuffle with some punks or something on his way to Thor's hammer or something. So that's kind of what that reminded me of, that episode. Like Matt's in the bank and some shit goes down. It didn't, yeah, but I still overall enjoyed the whole season. I give it an 8 out of 10. But this final episode was like a banger, 10 out of 10 to me, like flawless. Yeah. I don't know what they could have added to it to make you bump it up to a 10, like me and Mac.
I don't believe anything's ever the best it can be. So
nothing's a 10 out of 10 to you. Okay.
Now besides me. I mean, there are no 10s.
Okay. All right. All right.
On that note, folks, he definitely needs to be drug tested because he's
you're both triple stacking and taking it.
You must mean the perk 10s when you say you're a 10. You must mean the perk 10s, because
I'm beyond 10 probably. Most likely, I'm probably.
He definitely won't.
We'll just say 10. That's the scale we're going off of.
Maybe even a perk 30. I don't know. This is crazy.
You're on straight up morphine at this point, bro.
That is crazy.
Yeah. So anyhow,
right.
I don't know what we coming back with. I don't know if we'll be back next week. We're definitely coming back for a Thunderbolts review. We'll see what's shaking on the internet and see if we could cook something up for our next. But we'll definitely be doing Ironheart. We'll be covering Ironheart series as that goes, and there's just a lot of stuff. Like, I was looking back, there's a lot of stuff we could have covered over the years and haven't been able to just sit down and talk about. So it'll be interesting moving forward. Like, we could have covered the Penguin series. We could have covered, so many other Disney Plus series. I don't know. We'll see. We might get into some Star Wars stuff. I know Andor is coming out soon. So it just depends what y'all want to talk about.
Yeah, we'll find something. There's always new trailer, new rumors coming out. Throw some stuff up, even if it isn't a full whatever episode. We'll go ahead and slap some shit down.
Word up. We'll figure it out. But I appreciate y'all coming by, checking out your hero. We'll be back next our next review. Like I said, probably Thunderbolts. Come check us out on our Thunderbolts review real soon. On
Hero.
What?
Hero, son.
What?